Hey, is it trash to treasure, or is it one man's trash is another man's treasure? Today's project, it's kind of both. Okay, so today's piece, this was a find at a thrift store. Paid $5 for it. Now, I was looking at it and I didn't even know what this was. I just thought for $5, I mean, the wood, someone put some work into the wood creation here. It's a wall plaque and it's our style, that rustic vintage farmhouse barny style. But I couldn't even tell what was on this leather, embossed leather craft. So someone really took some time, put a nice frame together, and was tooling around on leather, and then wanted to highlight the piece that they put here. Obviously, it meant something to them. It's a it's a pair of hands praying with a I guess that would be a wooden stake. That's obviously a religious symbol or religious type of piece, which very. This is not my forte, but I do respect the work. To find it in a thrift store, you know, they lost interest, but I'm gonna give it re-life in our vibe, our Jalopy Johnson Garage style vibe. So with that said, the first thing we gotta do is deconstruct what's already here, and then I'll show you the pieces that are gonna go into completely flipped wall hanger. All right, so Volkswagen theme is what we're gonna go with. I'm gonna go ahead and not like that. That's the easy way to do it. That's not what we're gonna do. We're gonna kick it up a notch. We're gonna do it right. We're gonna recess this into the wood. So it'll be into the wood. It'll be backside. I gotta cut a big hole right here. I know we were born to be children of our security, but I'll let you go first today. What is the meaning of losing all that you got? Why do you always try to be someone you're not? Next steps. I guess I'm gonna got the board cut. That's gonna go back here. We'll drop the hubcap in. I'm gonna just go ahead and use the blocks that I took off of here to kind of stable it like that. But what I want to do is I want to trim out the cut here. It looks raw, unfinished. So I got this vintage. This is old furniture webbing that you would use back in the day when they made furniture. This is what they would stretch tight and then put the cushions on. I'm gonna use this like a windlace and wrap it around this edge to give the edge a finished look. And I wanna do that before I do anything else because I'm gonna do it from the back side. So let's do the windlace. So it's coming along. Kind of digging it. I don't know. What do you guys think? It's unique. I think recessing the hubcap in here really makes a difference. One of the things that I'm probably going to go back and fix is I probably should have put some type of cording or hoop or something in here. That way it's not so wobbly. So I think what I'll do is I'll unscrew it. I'll undo the staples, put a piece of rope in there and put it back. That way it won't have all the wrinkles in there. That's just something, the details that I noticed. I don't like it. I'm gonna fix it before I do the reveal at the end of the video. But now, before I put the letters on, I need to test stain what this wood's gonna look like compared to the letters. Because if I put the letters on, stain it all, it could both get really, really dark and then the letters wouldn't pop. So what I'm gonna do first is stain the wood here with my Make It Look Old stain, which is a vinegar steel wool solution, and see how dark this gets. And then depending on that, we'll determine how we're gonna do the letters before I glue them on. Let's see what happens here. All woods are different. It's like the way this stain works, it reacts with the wood. So sometimes it'll get super dark and sometimes it won't do much at all. So let's see how this wood reacts. So I decided to go with black. I think black's going to be the best color to pop. But I don't want it to look like fresh, crisp black. I'm going to end up going with flat black, and I'm going to put a little bit of patina splatter on it with red primer and some metallic gold, and then dust it with black again just to get it just right. But as you can see, and it's windy today, so this is a cool tip that I figured out to use to help me spray stuff in the wind, especially little stuff like this. First off, I got my paper on my trash can and it's kind of tucked in, that holds it in place. But next is this is like just masking tape, and then I'm going to tape all of these letters to the tape, and that way they're not blowing all over the place. So just a quick little tip. Not sure if you have this environment that you got to paint in, but got to figure shit out sometimes. Then I always go back over with the bottom color. That's the main color that we want it. Pretty black, pretty dark. That's kind of what I wanted. You got the little black specks in the wind lace fabric here, and I just thought it would look good dark. I don't know if you can kind of see what we got here. So these are going to go around the outside like so. Still got to put the hubcap on here, but as projects normally go, they evolve. So I'm looking at this and I put the letters down, and now I kind of think it needs some trim around the outside. So I'm going to work on the trim. I'm going to glue the letters down and glue this down. You'll see that in time lapse, and then in a moment here you'll see the reveal. So let's wrap this thing up. This is what I'm going to use for the trim around the edge. So I'm going to basically just wrap it around the edge like that, miter the corners, and go all the way around. these look like this. All right, first things first, we're going to use muriatic acid. With galvanized, you got to strip some of that galvanized off. And depending on how much galvanized coating's on there, is how long you got to put it in for. All right, that didn't take long at all. This didn't have a lot of galvanized on it. If you're doing like a roof panel or something, corrugated roof panels, those have a lot of galvanized on them, so it takes a little bit longer. But pretty much got these stripped down. Now I'm just gonna rinse them out. All right, so these are, if you look at them, you can see where some of the galvanized stayed on. That's fine. I'm not too concerned about the edges anyway, but they are already starting to show some rust because of the water right there. So before I let it go any further and add the rust activator that I'm going to show you in a second, I'm going to put just a little bit of clear paint. Shit, I gotta get a new one. This one has a messed up top. But I'm gonna put a little bit of clear paint on there to keep silver what I want silver. So let me go get a better can. All right, so I got another can. This is satin clear enamel. You don't want to put too heavy of a coat on it. You just want to put a little bit on there because you want the rust to kind of come through. So from a distance, that's all I'm going to do. All right, so next we're going to go ahead and sand them a little bit. I just got this little Scotch-Brite. I'm going to take a little bit of that clear off, just kind of smooth it in a little bit. And then I'm going to go on it with hydrogen peroxide and salt. And hopefully that's going to be enough to get it to look like that hubcap, or at least kind of match a little close. All right, now I wanted to fix that. That was bothering me that this was not nice and smooth. So to fix that, I went ahead and pulled all the staples out. We're gonna redo it. This time we're gonna put a little rope in here. And that should solve that problem, make it a little bit nicer, cleaner. Knock that out real quick while the patina on the metal edges dry. So and now we'll just go ahead and pull taut, staple. All right, Saturday. We're gonna finish this thing up here pretty quick. Gotta tell you, it's been, well, Saturday, so it's been 5 days. The previous part of the video was all last weekend, and then this was a to be continued, I guess, because now we're gonna take it up another notch, and I wanna show you what that notch is. So we got to this point where the hubcap was in here, and these were drying outside. So over the week, I kept, I'm pretty excited about this project. It's turned out really, really cool. So over the week, I kind of thought maybe we could put some lights to it. So I was kind of messing with that, and I ended up putting these fairy lights in here, and that will create a glow on the hubcap. But one of the things I ran into is I've got to offset the back some to make sure I get enough light to cast here. So what I'm gonna do next is, well, I already did this too throughout the week. I didn't get it on camera, but this is how the hubcap's gonna mount. I just took a real strong magnet, mounted it to the board, and then that's gonna hold the hubcap on, allow me to get it just right and center it. But what I gotta do is offset this so I can get the light to kind of get just the VW on the front, and then it will also cast a slight glow around the outside. So that's the next step. And then as far as the metal frame, this is what they turned out like. So that hydrogen peroxide and salt really gave it a nice mild patina effect, just spots of rust. That's kind of what we were going for. And then this one here, I kind of brushed off the calcium. I'll do that with the rest of them, but you can see this. See how we're coming along with that. So we're in assembly mode now. Let's keep going. So there you have it. All done except for the caption. We're gonna do the caption next, but I think it turned out really cool. I trial fit it in the house with the light on. The glow is on point. You can see the VW logo. It puts a little bit of glow out here. Super cool in the dark. I'll show you that in the reveal. All that's left, like I said, is to do the caption. And if you recall what this originally was, it had this goofy thing, right? You remember that? The religious praying thing on it. So with the limited letters that I had to figure out a catchphrase or a caption that kind of worked with this. And I think you're gonna like what I came up with because it pays tribute to the original piece, which I like that. Then I'll show you the highlight reel. But before I do that, if you like the video, be sure to hit that like button. Check out my other videos. Then see if you like the channel. If you like the channel, appreciate it if you subscribe. Let's finish this thing up. Have a good one.